What's up, YouTube fragrance family and friends? Tommy with Studio Sense here. I'm excited to bring you guys today a brand new release. It's been kind of an unusual release though. The fragrance that we're going to take a close look at today, I'm going to unbox, give you guys my first impressions of, is a Versace fragrance. It is none other than the clubbing king itself, Versace Eros Parfum. We had the original Eros, the Eau de Toilette, then the Eau de Parfum, and now in typical designer fashion, Eros Parfum. Next up, I guess, Le Parfum, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. So when we come back, we're going to take a closer look at this brand new release, talk about why it was so quietly released, that and more, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. This has been kind of an unusual release for Versace. Versace's flagship fragrance that has gained them so much popularity and aka money. It's kind of like when you think of Chanel, you think of Bleu de Chanel. When you think of Christian Dior, you think of Dior Sauvage. And automatically when you think of Versace, you think of Versace Eros. Because this is their own proprietary formula, and lots of fragrances have tried to reproduce Eros, and none of them have gotten the popularity nor the kind of the flavor just right. The Eau de Parfum was also released with a good bit of fanfare. You know, there was press junkets, a press release, there was commercials, there were some really good high-res graphics, and yet Versace Eros Parfum, suddenly we see a release in most major online stores of Versace Eros, the Parfum. And there's no commercials about it. You can't even really find a high-res graphic of this fragrance. So what's going on, Versace? What's happening? Now think about Stephen King and how prolific of a writer that he is, right? He's always got maybe 1 or 2 or even 3 manuscripts sitting in a vault somewhere, and when he decides he wants to release one, under contract even, he'll release a new novel or a new vignette or a new, series of stories. Don't think that fragrance designers are not a little bit like that. So we know they've probably been sitting on Versace Eros Parfum for a while now, but why did they decide to release it like this? Why has it been so quiet? There's like no commercial, no flyers, no models touting the benefits of Eros Parfum. Eros Parfum just kind of quietly landed in department stores and is now available. So regardless of why Versace decided to take their mainstay best-selling fragrance and release it in such a weird, quiet, hush-hush kind of way, I'm still excited to try it out, and I'm excited to try it with you guys. So before we do anything else, let's go ahead and check out that presentation. So the box is that typical cerulean or blue, or I guess you could say blue-green, the gold and the blue-green. And they've kept to that same color scheme with the Eros Parfum. The very front of the box is kind of a satin-like gold with the Versace Medusa logo, and you've got Versace Eros. It's a Parfum concentration, so it's going to be a little bit higher concentration of oils than is the Eau de Parfum, and obviously a different formulation. You've got M Mary C Charlie 2104, that is the batch code, along with some various stickers, UPC, a QR code, and an address. And then on the very back, you've got Parfum along with the ingredients listing. And that's pretty much it. On the very top of the box, you've got Versace in gold. And then of course the bottle itself is the same bottle that we're used to. Really nice design. That's really cool. It's got the Medusa logo that's sticking out or embossed on the glass. And you've got Versace Eros Parfum on the very front of it in gold. The lid itself is that same blue-green color. with gold. Exact same bottle style that the Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Parfum is, so there's nothing new there. What is new, however, is the actual formula, the actual note breakdown. So let's talk a little bit about the note breakdown of Versace Eros Parfum. Versace Eros Parfum features top notes of lemon, mandarin, elemi resins, and pepper, with heart notes of geranium, lavender, and sage, resting on a base of cashmere, styrax balsam, vanilla, patchouli, and vetiver. So, very interesting formula. Most notably, we're missing the apple, we're missing the mint. This is very well known for. So similar to what Elixir is a winter version of Sauvage, could Eros Parfum be a winter version of Eros? Quite likely. Let's go ahead and test it out and see though, and find out for sure. So the pump is gold with a black aperture. That is typical of Eros. And I did a couple test sprays there to show you that it is pretty much the same. Atomizer is excellent. It throws a ton of juice out. I really like that. I really like that. Well, first of all, you've got to appreciate Eros Parfum. I believe you've got to be a fan of Eros. If you've never been a fan of Eros or the Eros formula, kind of the way that it smells, I think that some reviewers have made the misnomer of stating that this is just a clubbing fragrance. It's just a fragrance for teenagers. Any kind of fragrance that you resonate with or that appeals to you should be something that you enjoy wearing without the stigma or a label on it. Specifically with this fragrance, they've taken the direction of the Parfum version into a kind of a deeper, a little bit more. I really like it. I really like this. This actually could be my favorite version of Eros, and that's saying something because I really dig the Eau de Parfum version. Like the cerulean or blue-green color that the bottle represents, the Parfum edition gives more of a sense of depth. I think it's probably to date the most mature Eros that has been released so far, and that is a positive. And when I say mature, I mean well done, well blended, and very refined. There's a really high quality combination of lavender and sage with the balsam. I think that's what's giving it kind of that almost, it's so dark and so green, it almost has a bite to it. Combination of geranium, pepper, clary sage, lavender, and some of those elemi resins in there. It's really smooth though, so for having those resins, it's not rough at all. It's not rough, it's not harsh. To me, it doesn't feel chemical, and there's just enough patchouli and vanilla combination in the base to make it extremely smooth. It's almost like the difference between drinking a 5-year scotch and a 25 or 30-year scotch. You know, you can taste that difference in how smooth it is. This, to me, this particular iteration or version feels to me like the absolute perfect evolution of Eros. Now, is it a winter fragrance? Well, yeah, I think you can definitely wear this in cold weather. There's a good bit of vanilla in here too, and while it's not really sweet, there's an element of sweet here, but it's not effusively or overly done. Eros Parfum is citrusy, it's aromatic, definitely got some woods in the background there. It's resinous. It's everything that you want basically in a signature scent and in a nice cooler weather fragrance. So it's nice to see that Versace has released Eros, the winter version or the cool weather version. Now, I'm not going to say it's winter really so much, but just cooler weather. The mint and the lemon is what I primarily got in the Eau de Parfum. In the Parfum, what I'm getting is also some very aromatic citrus, but those resins. The resins, to me, are where the Parfum shines. It's almost like a juxtaposition of really bright, high register citrus and some really nice, dense, heavy, a little bit darker resins. It's a contrast, light and dark, and I really enjoy that. It's a very satisfying olfactive experience. It's projecting really well off my arm too. So really, just like I said before, in much the same way, Elixir is really the penultimate Sauvage in many different ways, especially for cooler weather. I think this is the penultimate Eros. It smells so good. It's really extremely a sexy masculine fragrance. Just a hint of sweetness there, nothing overdone, especially if you're looking for something that's going to be a fantastic club king, which I still feel like this formula and the overall blend and the smell still warrants the crown. Wearing the crown of the clubbing king still's got that kind of very youthful, very energetic, very music festival vibe to it. With a higher concentration of oil, it's going to perform really well, project really well. So it's definitely going to be something that you're going to really enjoy smelling on yourself over time as you move about your day and move about your environment. Only complaint that I have is they didn't do a really good job of introducing it to the public. Like I said, there's really not any commercial material about it. There's not really any good high-res anything to look at online when it comes to this. You just click on the fragrance in the department store and you've got this box and the fragrance sitting there, and that's it. There's no real good information about this. So I'm really happy to be able to release this first impressions to you guys. I'm extremely impressed. The release price is a bit much though. However, just like with Elixir, you can definitely smell it. You can definitely tell it. Right now, it's up to you whether you want to purchase it or not. It's a little bit high for release, but I think it's definitely worth it if you're an Eros fan. Well, that's pretty much a wrap on my first impressions of Versace Eros Parfum. I think it's an excellent release, very high quality release. A winter, finally a cool weather version of Eros, but the circumstances of the release are still very curious. So I'll definitely give you guys a full-on review in the future as I give this more wear and kind of put it through its paces. Thanks for stopping by and checking out today's unboxing and first impressions of this very unique flagship fragrance for Versace. I don't know why it was released in the way that it was. I think as good of a quality of a fragrance that it is, I think it deserved a little bit better introduction to the public than what it got. At any rate, thanks for stopping by and checking out today's unboxing of this fine fragrance. As always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow.